up? It's Calysta. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through a new event on Lords Mobile called Guild Showdown. Now, Guild Showdown is basically a head-to-head competition with other guilds where you're going to be competing to see whose army is best. So it is very much less about number of troops that you have, which really equates to might. If you're thinking about somebody who's 500 million versus 800 million, oftentimes research can be pretty equal. The 800 million might have worse gear, might have worse heroes, might have worse jewels. So it really doesn't have as much to do with might as it is about your specific armies. And this was a really good event, I think, for a lot of you guys to be able to practice kind of battling and figuring out what your ideal army looks like and be able to test different formations and stuff. So I wanted to do a quick video to just do an overview of the Guild Showdown event and also be able to share with you guys what the results look like. And it's just some of the things that I kept in mind as I was getting ready for this event. So they did a really good job giving some preliminary information. The registration process was super easy. I'm showing you guys what the rewards were. Assuming that you placed well, you would get one of the following. Some of the rewards are pretty good. Some are meh. I would say this. If you are doing this for the rewards, you're not doing it for the right reason. This is very much an event that's about bragging rights versus the rewards that you're going to get, unlike something like Guild Fest where you can get some pretty awesome rewards. The rewards here really don't account for the fact that if you want to do well, your guild's going to need to use max army size and they're going to need to use attack boost, both of which for a lot of people are going to cost gems, which equals money, right? So the rewards are not going to make up for that. So you should go in knowing that. Now, some of the things that I was looking at was you want to make sure that you're absolutely using your turf boost. So you want to make sure you're popping that army size boost. If you can, I use the 50%. I also used a 20% attack boost. I did not have a 50% attack boost. If I did, I might have considered using it. It's not often that I need to use such a big attack boost, and I just didn't have any handy. You can't really buy those. The next thing that I made sure of was that I had my war gear equipped. You're doing all this before registration, folks, right? So you want to make sure you have your war gear equipped. And then lastly, you want to make sure your talents are spec'd the way you want them spec'd. And this is going to depend on your formation and what troops you plan on sending. You're going to see that I felt really strongly about not overcommitting to one specific troop type, given that I wouldn't know what my competitor was going to send. I wanted to make sure I had a pretty even setup across the 3 tiers. What you're going to notice is I did heavy up on my infantry. So as I was creating my talent tree, I wanted to make sure that my range and my cav were pretty even in terms of their attack boost, but that my infantry was pretty much kicking some major butt, and they were really, really strong because they were going to be my front line. And this was an exercise, guys, in longevity, right? So what you want to do in this event is to last. You want to make sure that you can get a couple of wins in a row, because really that's the only way you're going to be able to win this for your guild. So keeping that in mind for me, I made sure that I really stacked up my infantry and that they were going in very strong and that I put them in the front. I also made sure that I was sending a pretty equal distribution of heroes so that I had equal boosts across my cavalry, my ranged, and my infantry, and that I did have a significant amount of army level boost, which boosts everyone, right? A couple of things I noticed as I was just kind of clicking around different guilds, and you can kind of see that later on, some people weren't sending heroes, right? Or they were sending completely wrong heroes. And when I say completely wrong, I mean they were sending heroes like Trickster that have absolutely zero effect on your attack power. So unless you have no other heroes, you should not be sending those, right? Trickster literally does nothing for your army. And then the next thing that I did was basically figure out how many troops of each I was going to send. I heavied up on infantry by a little bit, not a whole lot. And you're going to see that for cavalry and ranged, I kept it equal, right? So I had 150k for infantry, 113k approximately for cavalry and ranged. You're going to see I sent 2 siege. I'm totally trolling, guys. Like, this was just a shout out to the fact that every time I want to zero a castle, if they have a lot of troops, let's say 500,000, 600,000 troops, I can usually go in and zero in one hit, except for the damn siege. So I threw in 2 siege just to see why not. 2 siege, guys. Please do not send equal distribution of siege. It is going to do absolutely nothing. This was just, again, me just trolling, for lack of better words. And you can kind of see what my lineup was. It was infantry flanks. I mentioned already that I wanted to make sure that I had a bit more infantry, because this is going to be an exercise in longevity, that I was boosting my infantry. So my infantry was going in, I want to say, at about 80% more of an attack boost than my ranged and my cavalry. So we're going in really strong. Now, how do we do? Okay, so let's go through some of the results. So we ended up doing okay. We made it through the first round very easily. I'm in CAE. You can see my guild is in orange. We made it through the first round super easily. And then in the second round, we ended up going against the people that ended up winning our division, and they were awesome. So huge shout out to the guild Max. They did very, very well. We did pretty good. We went, I think, 49 to 55. So pretty close. And you're going to see what the animation looks like. So they're using very much kind of like, college basketball brackets, right? Football brackets, for those of you guys that do that sort of thing. And I thought that was actually pretty awesome in terms of how they were able to show us the information. And I was really curious about what they were going to do to try to make this enticing to watch, because I was worried that they were going to show us like, the battle animations that you see in a regular battle, and seeing that over and over again, you can only handle so much. But they actually did a really good job in showing the versus battle thing and keeping it pretty quick. So this is the replay, guys, and you can see in the replay we have some functionality. You're able to speed through. Right now we're not speeding it through. This is the kind of regular speed, but you can go up to 3 times faster than this if you want to kind of speed through. If you click on the person, it's automatically going to take you to your specific battle. So again, pretty cool. And then the large button on top of the pause button that has kind of that note with the sword, that will give you your detailed battle report, which is also kind of cool. So if you're curious to see how you did, or how your teammates did, or how whomever did, you can actually see that detailed battle report to see where they lost troops, where they gained troops, and how they progressed as the battles kind of went on. So I thought that was a really great part of the whole animation piece that IGG put in. Now, while this is going on, I am going to show you guys how I did in particular, but I wanted to just do a special call out to R4s. I think for this event to work well, R4s are really going to need to step up. And the reason that I say that is, if you want to make sure that your people meaning your guild, are not unnecessarily spending on boosts for army size and for army attack, you need to push your biggest players to register first. This is only going to take your top 55 players in terms of might, right? Wasn't overly clear in the beginning, I don't think, because people got super excited. They all registered, and we had, let's say, 15 people that used attack boosts, that used army size boosts, that didn't get to participate, right? Because then, and I'm one of them, I signed up with a couple of hours left to go, and every time a bigger player signs up, that top 55 shifts, right? So I think this happened across the board. So it's going to require a bit of coordination, and you want to make sure that you're kind of letting the bigger players know, you guys have to register first. We have to make sure we're hitting the 55, but we don't want all our other players to go in and use all these boosts, spend gems, and then not be able to participate in the event, right? They can register afterwards as backups, and so they can get some of the rewards, but you don't want them to go in and spend all those boosts if they're not going to be used. So this is me right now. I had 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in a row. This was pretty exciting. I was shocked that I did so well. 4 wins in a row. I think Max Seed Dweller, shout out to you, buddy. You were the one that kicked me out. I ended up with 4 wins in a row. Because I'm such a negative person, of course, I'm showing you guys my defeat detailed report. So you can see I didn't get zeroed. I think I had like 6,700 troops or something like that left, which is kind of cool, I guess. But it was kind of close. We just needed more, right? You can kind of see here the final 2 players from our guild, Avatrex and Sean. We still had a couple more players on the Max side, but huge shout out to Max. They ended up winning our division, so no shame in losing to the top, you know, guild in our division at all. It's really cool because you can also go back and see the replays, which I thought was really nice. And again, shout out to IGG. They did a really good job just setting up the brackets and trying to create something innovative in terms of the head-to-head battles. I was really curious what that was going to look like. Again, this is going to be something that I think is going to occur in the future. I would say there's pretty easy ways to prep. A lot of it is going to be R4s or R3s or however you have your guild set up. Just taking a more active role in making sure that the bigger players are registering first, so your smaller players aren't using boosts. I would also say it's super important to have whomever you designate in your guild look at the armies that people are sending, look at their heroes. You're gonna see, again, this only matters in terms of like the time of registration, but people are sending wrong heroes, they're sending research heroes to this. Having some oversight in your guild from whomever it is that you appoint is going to help that a lot. Maybe somebody that can quickly just eyeball the list and make sure that all the heroes make sense. If not, you can re-register. It is free. You don't have to pay anything. So definitely take advantage of that. I think I'm going to be doing a tips and tricks video on this particular event the next time that it rolls out, just to kind of condense some of this stuff together. But so far, I thought it was a great event. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions below. And as usual, thank you so much for watching.